Right, good morning everyone. Welcome and thank you for logging into our webinar today. We're extremely excited to be able to showcase our product OneSearch. This product is an intuitive and easy to use solution that will absolutely transform the way you view user profiles, or in fact any digital assets that you might have stored in SharePoint, in Active Directory, SQL, or in fact any third-party application. And the way it's going to transform it is that it's going to make this data highly searchable, and provide a truly unique organizable framework for you to be able to visualize what's happening to that particular data. The example we're going to show today is the SharePoint corporate directory, but as you'll see in the actual demonstration, this can be applied to any digital asset that you might be interested in visualizing and searching. Now, just before we get started, a little bit about the format of the webinar. The majority of the webinar is going to be focused around a visual demonstration of the product. We should also have some time at the end for any questions that you might have or any comments. But as with all our webinars, this particular webinar is a listening only webinar. So if you do have questions while we're going through the webinar or immediately afterwards, you'll notice in the GoToWebinar console located on the right-hand side of your screen that there's a questions tab at the bottom. Please feel free to put down any questions you have there, and either at the end of the webinar or immediately afterwards, we'll try and answer all the questions as they come up. So just as we get started, my name is Robert Hasiotis. I'm the Head of Information and Communication Solutions here at Antares, and I'm very pleased to be able to present OneSearch to you today. In terms of the agenda, we're just going to spend a couple of minutes giving you a bit of an overview of OneSearch. We'll be talking about the key features that we have on offer, and also look a little bit at the benefits that can be accrued for the different people in the organization. We'll then go to a power demo. So we're going to actually show you the OneSearch utility as it works across a SharePoint farm in this particular instance. And then we should end up with enough time to give you a very quick overview on Antares, and then go to the questions that you might have as well. So just to get started, when you say, what is OneSearch? Well, the idea behind it is that everybody in the organization needs the ability to access accurate information. They need the ability to search, to identify, and to communicate with the right people across the organization. It's not just finding people, it's also finding things like the relevant skill set within the organization. How many times have you searched across disparate entities looking for people who might have the skills to help you with a particular issue or particular project or whatever it might be? The same applies for any digital asset. It was stored in SharePoint, or in fact any repository that you might have in the organization. All of these different repositories are holding so much information that it's no longer good enough to just surface that information in a very linear approach as you get within SharePoint itself. Visualization is absolutely the key to this, and that's exactly what OneSearch offers. So as we look at the different benefits that you're going to get, first of all, you're going to get automatic and dynamic organization charts. So wherever you are in the organization, maybe you need to see the entire organization or just a particular view based on where you are in the organization. OneSearch is going to give you the ability to create these dynamic charts, which you can navigate through very freely and easily. It's also going to give you smart search, so things like search as you type, very much like the Google and Bing type of interfaces. As you're searching through, you'll be able to see what information is coming back and refine your searches on the back of that. It's also going to give you a lot greater accuracy with fuzzy searching. So very often what happens is the information stored on the back end is incorrect, or perhaps you're not 100% sure what you're searching for. And our fuzzy logic search is going to bring back all the relevant information for you regardless of what you're searching. The example we're going to show in the demonstration is what happens if you're searching for somebody and you're misspelling their name. How do you find that person quickly and easily? Our fuzzy search logic will help you to do that. What we'll also see in the actual demonstration is that it is completely embedded in SharePoint. So, or in fact, any website that you may wish to surface the information in. But it can also be a standalone utility. So very often what you find is particular departments are not accessing things like SharePoint or particular web browser. They need an offline access or a client-side console to access this information. We can support that capability. And also very important is OneSearch can integrate with any back-end system to give you an accurate centralized repository. And what that means is that you might have different sources of truth right now. You might have information sitting in Active Directory, in SQL, in SharePoint, in other utilities such as SAP. OneSearch can go across all the different entities, hook into them, and give you a single view across all the different repositories. So you've got a single source of truth to be able to visualize what's happening within your organization. What we'll also see as well is that you can empower your users to update the information. So very often, information as it gets entered in, for instance, to Active Directory, it becomes out of date very quickly. People's personal information changes regularly. Things like their telephone numbers change as they move around. And what you want to be able to do is empower the end users to quickly update certain information. Not all of it, but maybe just certain key aspects. You can do that with OneSearch. What we'll also see is that you get enriched profiles, and you can see how people, the various skills they have, whether they're online or not. And you'll also be able to see how the reporting structure works. Maybe they are reporting to more than one person or have multiple people reporting to them. You'll be able to visualize that automatically in OneSearch. It also provides unified communication. So we link up with things like your Outlook, your Link, Office Communicator Server, if you're running that previously. And you can see not only who is around, where they are, but also see their profile on the online, yes or no, just as you would within SharePoint itself. And what you're going to see here is that the benefits of OneSearch are going to stem across the entire organization. So for instance, for management, they're going to find a solution that's highly cost effective, very simple to implement, and as such is also going to provide a very great deal of return on investment because it's really an ideal solution to improve things like employee collaboration. The management are going to see that employees' effectiveness and productivity is going to skyrocket because you're going to have a very quick and easy way for people to collaborate and access relevant information across the environment. IT managers as well are going to see a solution that's very quick and easy to deploy. It requires just .NET and Silverlight. It's very easy to maintain either internally or using, for instance, Antares' annual support agreement as well. And you're going to see a solution that provides a single source of truth that is fully integrated into your current IT infrastructure, whatever that might be. And it's also a highly flexible solution that can be configured based on your particular requirements. So out of the box, if you install OneSearch, you will get a lot of functionality, but very often you have third-party or custom solutions that you created in-house. You want to be able to integrate that into OneSearch. We can absolutely do that for you. For HR, for the employees as well, you're going to see a tool that provides incredible visualization to allow you to quickly use the smart search and organization charts to find people, to improve your effectiveness and your productivity as well. Okay, so having said that, what we would like to do now is go to an actual demonstration. So at this point, I'm going to bring up the OneSearch, and as soon as it's available on everyone's screen, we're going to provide a quick overview on exactly what it is and how it works. Okay, so it looks here like it's now available to everyone, the OneSearch view. So what you're looking at here is OneSearch embedded into a website. Again, as we mentioned, it can be sitting directly in SharePoint, in any version of SharePoint to 2013, or can be sitting as a standalone client. It's completely up to you how you want to visualize and surface that information. In this example, we're looking at the staff directory of SharePoint and of Active Directory. But again, it could be any particular digital asset that you wish to analyze and view. So if we have a look here, the main console is centered around surfacing all the information. And at the top here, we have a very quick filter system to be able to quickly search and filter on particular values. Fully customizable, you'll have your own values, your own particular information that you want to surface. You'll be able to do that. And if we have a look here, for instance, I've got a whole bunch of people sitting across 6 pages of information, and I could say, I want to quickly see anyone in IT, and they must be sitting in the Sydney office. Return that information to me. So without going into any particular visualization as such, we've got a very quick way to navigate through our corporate directory. In much the same way, as we click through, I'm just going to remove the filters here because I want to access information on anyone. As we click through, we'll see that on the right-hand side, information about the various people is being surfaced. And as we mentioned, it can be surfaced from multiple repositories. So for instance, if we have a look at this person, Loretta Buck, this information is coming directly from SharePoint, the emails coming from a third-party solution, and the phone and fax can be coming from any particular environment as well. So in this case, it could be coming from your phone systems, things like your Citrix PBX boxes or whatever it might be. Because what we find is that information is not always accurate from a single repository like Active Directory. You might need to hook in and connect this information from multiple repositories. We can do that. So as you click through, you'll get all the information. You can also relate with the different areas because you might want to email the person. You might want to phone them through link. It can do that for you. And we can also do very quick searching. So as we were mentioning here, we could say, well, I'm searching for a guy. I'm not sure exactly how you spell his name, but I want to return all the results that might relate to this particular individual. So in my case here, I'm going to search for a guy named Jeff. And as we know with Jeff, it can be spelt in multiple ways. And our fuzzy logic is going to bring back all the different variants. Were you talking about a guy named Jeffrey James? Or were you talking about a guy named Jeff Mann? Depending on how you interface with the system, we can return all the results for you. So the fuzzy logic brings a very easy way for you to be able to get that information out. In much the same way, all the information that's coming through can be immediately exported. So in this case here, we can go through here and say, do we want to export it to CSV? You can have people using OneSearch to update the information, so you can then export it and incorporate it into third-party solutions. And then we can start visualizing the information as well. So when you're looking at this information, you can very quickly move things around and say, there's certain columns I want to see in certain situations. And we can automatically sort based on different values, depending on what we're looking for. Now, what we can do as well is we can have a quick view on how all these people are sitting within the organization. So if we click through to the next tab, we'll see that it creates a tree view, an organization structure of how everyone is sitting. And in particular here, if I go down under Roman Porter, I can see who's reporting directly to Roman Porter as the CIO. And I can see, as I drill down further, how the different organization lines are working as well. And we can keep drilling down as required. And what happens is, when you're looking at this information, you can say, well, that's great, but what we want to be able to do is create a dynamic organization structure, a visual chart of how these people are sitting based on this information. So if we click through to the next tab, it will automatically create the organization chart for the area of the organization you're interested in, and it will surface that information so you can see what's happening. And as we drill down into it further, it will build back the profiles, and we can click on individuals and get information about them that's required. It could be things like their contact details, their skill set, who they report to, whatever it might be. And with the organization charts, what we often find is that organizations, you can put out a chart, but it's not very intuitive, because you find that people in different departments are often reporting to multiple people, and it's very hard to see that kind of dotted line reporting. With the OneSearch capability, we can surface not only immediately who's sitting beneath particular people, but here, for instance, I can see that Roman Porter, as the IT manager, if I click and expand her, has a dotted line reporting to another individual named Grace Horton, who's a marketing coordinator. So although Grace doesn't sit within IT directly, we find that Grace is reporting via dotted line reporting to the IT manager. So however your organization structure has been set, whether it's very linear or whether it's very dynamic like this, the OneSearch capability can go across and pick out all that information for you automatically. And as we look at the information, you can say, you might be surfacing a dynamic organization chart across your entire organization, or maybe just particular departments. As you click in certain areas, for instance, if I click on Roman Porter, I can click export, and I can export the entire directory, or I can export just the selected person and everyone sitting beneath that particular person. And if we do that, we can export it automatically to to the Visio files. So if we do that and we go through to our desktop here, and we open it up, what we'll see is, as we drill in, it's automatically created the Visual Studio view, sorry, not Visual Studio, but rather the Visio view of that particular organization structure. So we can just drill in and see what's happening there. Okay, so on the one hand, you can create very quick and easy dynamic organization charts. In the same way, we can view any digital asset. So when you're looking at things like the way people interact, you're also very interested in things like the back-end information. So what meeting rooms are sitting across the different locations in the organization? Are they available? Are they not? And if we go across to the next tab, we can surface any of that information for you. And again, as we drill in further, it will give us information about those particular areas. So we can see the different meeting rooms, the different corporate headquarters and centers, and you can visualize how the organization structure is working within that. So just bear with me a second. I think one or two people are not seeing the updates to the screen, so I'll just bring that up here and just wait for that to surface for everyone else. And it looks like everyone's back online, so sorry about that. So what we're looking at here is the meeting view structure. So we can see all the different offices, and if we want, we can drill down into those offices, see what meeting rooms are available, who's booked them out, etc., whatever it might be. Now, when we talk about visualization, you have the ability in SharePoint and, in fact, many systems to be able to go through and do very quick searching to find relevant people. But what we're really looking for is a key area to visualize everything at once. And that's really what OneSearch can offer you. So if we go to the final tab in OneSearch over here, what we'll see is that in this case, it gives us a very quick and easy way to visualize our corporate entities. So for instance, we're seeing all the different users, and if we click down into individual users, it's going to drill into them, and it's going to bring back information about them, whatever information we require. And we can click through, and it's going to show us all the different people. And as we pull out, we'll be able to then visualize everyone again. In much the same way, like everything else, you can do quick searching. So, for instance, I can go in here and say, I want to search for a particular person, Roman Porter, and it will do quick search as you type functionality. And when I click into it, it's going to bring back the profile of Roman Porter for me. We can clear out the search results, and we can say, well, instead of monitoring a particular person, I want to filter this out and see everyone who's in sales and marketing, accounting, and IT, or whatever it might be. And it's going to bring back all the results for me automatically. And then once we look at that information, we can say, well, how do we want to visualize this? Do we want to see them as a group, or maybe we want to sort them by different functionalities? So for instance, in this case, I'm going to say sort them by department, and it will reorder them. And we can say, show us each department as a different view, and it will reorder that. So I can see immediately everyone in accounting, IT, sales, and marketing. And again, as I drill in, it will then give me information about the individuals as I click through on them, or whatever it might be. In the same way, you could say, you might have quite a large organization, and you say, how often do you want to be able to search for someone and say, well, show me what floor these people are sitting on within our building. And as you click through, you can automatically reorganize that information and see them in that particular scenario. And as we click through, let's say we remove the searching again, it will then show me all the people based on the different sorting capabilities and the filters that we put in place. So this is based, as we mentioned, purely on a SharePoint staff directory. but you can also imagine any particular digital assets that you have within the various repositories like SharePoint, SQL, or whatever it might be. You can use OneSearch to very quickly and easily and intuitively visualize any data within the organization. Okay, so that's a quick view on the OneSearch utility. And just before we round up, because we're starting to hit the end of the webinar, I just want to spend a few minutes giving you a bit of an overview of Antares. And then we'll go through to any questions that you might have about OneSearch as well. So just as we click through, just to give you a bit of background, so Antares is a Microsoft Gold partner, been around for about 6-7 years now. We're based in Sydney. We've also got offices in Brisbane. And we're a Microsoft Gold partner in portals and collaboration in business intelligence. We also hold Microsoft partnership in content management and data platform analysis. And our key focus is in 4 particular areas. We operate in productivity, so that's across the entire Microsoft stack of suite of tools, so things like SharePoint, like Link, Exchange, Project Server, and also other productivity tools, things like HP Trim and the integration between Trim and SharePoint, for instance. We also do business intelligence, so very much like OneSearch, you need real-time reporting, you need real-time dashboards across disparate repositories. We can help you with that in terms of BI. We do managed services. So if you're looking to have a managed service agreement, things like support for your IT or SharePoint, a lot of organizations are looking to put into place a cloud strategy. Things like going to Microsoft Office 365, or perhaps private cloud solutions like Azure or Amazon Web Services, whatever it might be. We can help you to define that plan and also implement and support it as well from a cloud point of view. And what we have at Antares is a whole separate innovation center where a team of highly specialized developers sit and build solutions and products to better service our clients. And what you saw in OneSearch is one of the products that we have on offer there. Also, we have a look at some of our specializations. We specialized very much in corporate intranets with a big focus on SharePoint. And it's from my experience of SharePoint and the way people are visualizing data and things like organization charts and that type of thing within SharePoint that helped us to develop and build the OneSearch utility, which can really help you to revolutionize the way you view information in SharePoint. We also help you with things around business process automation. So very often you want to automate the back-end processes with things like workflows, forms. We can help you to develop a strategy and implement that across the enterprise. We do information management solutions and, as I mentioned, cloud hosting as well. Social is also a very big topic in the enterprise right now. If you're looking to speak to us, maybe we can help you to develop an enterprise social strategy that fits in with your organization, implemented, whether it's on-premise or in the cloud. We can help you with that. And we also do a lot of integration across your line of business applications, so things like HP Trim, your custom CRM solutions, ERP, or any bespoke application that you need to implement. And OneSearch was a very good example of that, where we can integrate across any repositories that you have within the organization. We also build custom solutions. So, for instance, with OneSearch, we give you a product that's out of the box that's going to hook into the different repositories. But very often you might create a custom solution that cannot hook into anything, and you need us to help you develop a solution to do that. We can help you with that as well. So that's a little look at what we do. Some of our customers as well that rely on us, not only for things like the OneSearch utility, but also to help them with things like SharePoint and BI and managed services. These are some of the people we work with. But that's really just to give you an overview on who we are. Now, this was intended as a very quick webinar, a quick half-hour view of what OneSearch is and how it can help you. And with the last few minutes available, I'd like to then just quickly round up by thanking everyone for coming on to the webinar. I hope it was useful. It gave you a quick idea of what OneSearch can do. And I would like to now go over to you. So if you do have any questions at this point, as I mentioned at the beginning, there's a questions panel in the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Please feel free to write any questions you have there, and we'll now look to answer those questions as they come up. Okay, so just some of the questions coming through. Some of them are more generic, so I'm going to start off with those to answer the same questions at the same type of questions all at once. So, is this webinar being recorded? Absolutely. If you joined in a little bit late, of course, you might also want to share this recording with other people. It's being fully recorded, and you'll get a link to that recording automatically. I believe it comes out to you tomorrow, and we can also, of course, send it to you individually as well if you want. So, please feel free to view the recording later if you want, or share it with other members in your team as well. How is OneSearch priced? So it's priced on your particular SharePoint environment or your particular applications that you want to surface the information from. And it's also based on the amount of people in the organization. So what we'll do is if you do have questions on the pricing, it will be variable based on your particular environment. And we can actually get someone to just give you a call and they can give you information on the pricing. It's a very cost-effective solution, but it is very much dependent on your particular organization. Other questions coming through. Do you have an evaluation or demo environment? Yes. In fact, what I showed you from the demo environment is freely accessible to the public. So you can go onto the website one-search.com.au and you'll see there's an online interactive demo link. So if you do want to play around with it and look at the demo environment and just see how it would work for you day by day, please feel free to do so. Once again, that website address is one-search.com.au. A question coming through about the integration to third-party systems. Yes, if you did miss that, the integration does happen out of the box to things like AD, to SQL, to SharePoint, but it can integrate to any application within your organization. What we're talking about in the demo is maybe you want to integrate and surface people's phone numbers from your custom PBX telephone system running in Citrix. Not a problem. OneSearch has been developed to do that. So any third-party systems you have, OneSearch will be able to reference and source that information. So the idea is that OneSearch will be the single source of truth across your entire organization. Just another question coming through about the speed and the caching of OneSearch. So yeah, in terms of scalability, it will scale to manage any size environment, any amount of digital assets, whether it is things like your staff directory, or things like your digital asset management system, whatever it might be. We can scale to any size. It can also cache the information. So for users, they're not accessing the information in real time necessarily, but it also can speed up the information for them. And it can also work in an offline mode. So some users won't be permanently connected to the network. So we can take the information, cache it, and they can access that information offline as well. Just again, also in terms of the pricing, it is a one-off cost for OneSearch. There was a question about ongoing support and maintenance. That's up to you. Generally, we do include ongoing support. So just to really provide ROI on the purchase, you can buy it as a one-off price, then get the Antares support year-on-year maintenance as well if you want to that. That's also completely possible. I think there's still a few more questions coming through, but at this point, I'm just very conscious that we're hitting the end of the half hour. So at this point, we're going to round up the webinar. If any questions are coming through that I haven't answered, I do apologize. We'll be going through them immediately afterwards, and we'll get back to you with the answers in the next half hour as well. But from my point of view, I'd like to thank everyone for coming onto the webinar. We really appreciate your time. I hope it was useful and you got something out of it. We'll also be in touch just to give you a call and see if you have any further questions. But please feel free to get in touch with me directly as well if you have any other questions. But otherwise, thank you everyone for coming on. Appreciate your time. And I hope you have a very good day further. Thanks very much.